Hello and welcome to this video from Heybridge High School Maths Department. Today we're going to have a look at writing and solving simultaneous equations from contexts. Our first question, the cost of buying a coffee and a tea in a cafe is £4. The cost of buying a coffee and 3 teas in a cafe is £7. Work out the cost of buying a coffee and the cost of buying a tea. So let's let C equal a coffee. And let's let T equal to T. And then let's set up a couple of simultaneous equations. So a coffee and a tea, so one of each, costs £4. So that means that C add T will equal 4. And let's call that equation number 1. And the cost of buying a coffee and 3 teas in a cafe is £7. So a coffee plus 3 teas is equal to £7. Now I want to eliminate one of my variables, so I either want to eliminate my C's or my T's, and my two C's have got the same coefficient. They both have a coefficient of 1, so it's going to be easiest for me to eliminate them. So I am going to take my first equation away from my second equation. So I'm going to have C plus 3T equals 7, and I'm going to take away C plus T equals 4. So C take away C, those will eliminate, they're gone. 3T take away positive T will be 3T take away T, which will give me 2T. And 7 take away 4 will give me 3. So I'm now left with a simple linear equation to solve. So 2T is equal to 3. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So that means that T is equal to 1.5. I'm now going to substitute this value of T back into one of my two equations. So I'm going to substitute it, I'll just choose equation 1. So C plus, I know that T is equal to 1.5. 1.5 is equal to 4. I'm going to subtract 1.5 from both sides. So C will be equal to 2.5. Now it's a really good idea to use the second equation, the one that you didn't substitute into, to find your second value, to check that your answers are right. So I want to check that C plus 3T, substituting my solutions in, is going to give me 7, because if it doesn't, then I've done something wrong and I need to go back and check my working. So I'm going to do 2.5 plus 3 lots of 1.5, which will give me 2.5 plus 4.5, and that gives me 7. So I know that my solutions are correct. So I can now say that a coffee costs £2.50 and tea costs £1.50. So let's have a look at another one. 4 chairs and 2 tables cost £218 and 6 chairs and 7 tables cost £58. Find the total cost of buying 20 chairs and 5 tables. So let's let a chair equal C and a table equal T. And then let's set up two equations again. So 4C plus 2T equals 218, and 6C plus 7T equals 587. And let's number those 1 and 2. Now I don't have a variable where the coefficients are the same, so I'm going to need to multiply by something. In fact, I'm going to need to multiply both equations by something to get to a point where I can actually eliminate something. So let's multiply. So I'm going to eliminate my c's. The lowest common multiple of 4 and 6 is 12. So I'm going to multiply my first equation by 3, and I'm going to multiply my second equation by 2. So my first equation, that will give me 12c plus 6t is equal to 654. And for my second equation, I will get 12c add 14t is equal to 1174. So I'm now going to label that one 3 and that one 4. So I'm going to do 4 take away 3 to eliminate. So 12c take away 12c eliminates. 14t take away 6t will give me 8t. And 1174 take away 654 will give me 520. So I can now solve that and find the value of t. So I'm going to divide both sides by 8, and that will give me t equals 65. I'm now going to substitute my value of t into my first equation. So I'm going to get 4c plus 2 lots of 65 is equal to 218. So 4c plus 130 will equal 218. And if I subtract my 130 from both sides, I'm going to get 4c is equal to 88. Divide both sides by 4. So c is equal to 22. Now I'm going to substitute my values of t and c into equation 2 just to check that I get 587. So this is my check. So 6 lots of 22 plus 7 lots of 65 does in fact give me 587. So I need to find the cost of 20 chairs and 5 tables. So 20c plus 5t is equal to 20 lots of 22 plus 5 lots of 65, which is going to give me 440 plus 325, which will give me 765. So the cost of 20 chairs and 5 tables is £765. Question 3. The sum of Rosemary's age and Hannah's age is 102 years. The difference between Rosemary's age and Hannah's age is 52 years. Rosemary is older than Hannah. Find the age of each woman by using simultaneous equations. So let's let R equal Rosemary and H equal Hannah. So the sum of their ages is 102 years. So R plus H equals 102. And the difference between Rosemary's age and Hannah's age is 52 years. We know that Rosemary is older than Hannah, so we are going to do Rosemary's age take away Hannah's age, because if we do it the other way round, we're going to get a negative answer. And we can't have a negative number of years. So we're going to have Rosemary take away Hannah is equal to 52. We're going to add those together because we've got a positive h and a negative h. So if we add them together, they'll eliminate. So if we add those together, we're going to get 2r is equal to 154. Then we're going to divide both sides by 2. And that will give us r equals 77. So if we substitute r equals 77 into our first equation, we're going to get 77 plus h equals 102. So therefore h will equal 102 minus 77, because we're going to subtract 77 from both sides. So h will be equal to 25. And then we must do our check. So we must check that Rosemary's age take away Hannah's age will give us 52. So Rosemary take away Hannah will give us 77 minus 25, and that will give us 52. So we know that our answers are correct. So we can then say that Rosemary is 77 and that Hannah is 25. So our next question, Barry buys 200 pieces of stationery for £76. Of the 200 pieces of stationery, X of them are rulers that cost 50p each, and Y of them are pens that cost 20p each. Find out how many rulers Barry buys and how many pens he buys. So this one's a little bit tricky. We need to think about this one a bit. So we've got 200 pieces of stationery all together, and we've got X rulers and we've got Y pens. So we know that X plus Y will give us 200. We also know the cost of each item and what that number of items would cost altogether. We need to be careful here because we're given costs in pence and a total cost in pounds. So let's convert our pence into pounds. So let's say that 0.5x plus 20y, plus 0.2y will give us £76. And let's call that number 1 and that number 2. Now, in order to get my coefficients the same, I'm going to go for my coefficient of x. I'm going to multiply that whole equation by 2. I'm going to do equation 2 times 2, and that will give me x plus 0.4y is equal to 152. And let's call that equation 3. I'm now going to eliminate my x's. So I'm going to do equation 1, take away equation 3. So x take away x, those will eliminate. Y minus 0.4y will give me 0.6y. 200 minus 152 will give me 48. Now if we divide both sides by 0.6, we will get that y equals 80. If we substitute y equals 80 into equation 1, we're going to get that x plus 80 is equal to 200. Then let's subtract 80 from both sides. X equals 120. Now let's check. And we're going to check by substituting the values we found of x and y into equation 2. So we're going to have 0.5 times 120 plus 0.2 multiplied by 80, which will give us 60, add 16, which will give us 76 even. So the values satisfy both equations. So we can say that Barry buys 120 rulers and 80 pens. A plumber charges a price for each hour H pounds and a fixed charge C pounds. A 5-hour job costs £155 in total. An 8-hour job costs £230 in total. How much would a job that lasts 2 hours cost? So a 5-hour job. So if he's working for 5 hours, he's going to work for 5h. Now where you have a fixed charge, you're only ever going to add one of those on. You wouldn't have 5 fixed charges for a 5-hour job. The fixed charge will be the same however long the job. So we're going to have 5h plus c is 155. And then the same for the second situation, for the 8-hour job. We're going to have 8h plus c equals 230. Now our coefficients of c are the same, so let's do equation 2 take away equation 1. So 8h take away 5h will give us 3h. C take away c will eliminate, and 230 take away 155 will give us 75. And then if we divide both sides by 3, we'll find out that h is equal to 25. Now let's substitute that value of h into equation 1. So 5 times 25 plus c is equal to 155. So if we multiply out that bracket, we're going to get 125 plus c is 155. And then let's subtract 125 from both sides. So that will give us c equals 30. And let's just sub into equation 2 to check. So 8 times 25 plus 30 equals 200 plus 30, which is 230. So my solutions satisfy both equations. I know that they're right. So I need to work out how long a 2-hour job would cost. So that would be 2h plus c, which would be 2 lots of 25 plus 30. 2 lots of 25 is 50, add 30 is 80. So a 2-hour job would cost £80. And our final question for today, Alan and Connor have £6.70 in total. Alan has £1.70 more than Connor. Let A be the amount of money Alan has, and let C be the amount of money Connor has. Set up a pair of simultaneous equations and solve to find out how much each person has. So Alan plus Connor is £6.70. And Alan has £1.70 more than Connor. So we're going to have Alan minus Connor, A minus C is £1.70. And as always, let's label those 1 and 2. So we're quite lucky here. We've got the same coefficients for Alan and for Connor. I'm going to add these together to eliminate the C's. So if I add them together, A plus A will give me 2A, positive C plus negative C will eliminate, and £6.70 plus 1.7 will give me £8.4. And then let's divide both sides by 2. So A will be equal to 4.2. Now let's substitute that value of A into equation 1. We're going to have £4.20 plus C is equal to £6.70. Let's subtract that 4.20 from both sides. C equals 2.50. Then let's check using our second equation, as we always must when we're doing simultaneous equations. So 4.20 minus 2.50 will give us 1.70, which is correct. So my solutions again satisfy both equations, so I can be sure that they're correct. So from that we can see that Alan has £4.20 and Connor has £2.50. Thank you for watching.